So this is the Analogue Super NT, which is a Super NES or Super Famicom clone created using an FPGA. It'll play just about every Super NES or Super Famicom title out there. Most accessories should work with it, and its main benefit is that it'll look really good on your modern television. Now, why am I talking about it when so many other YouTubers have already reviewed it, gaming publications, etc.? Well, I wanted to give it my spin as someone who's not a professional YouTuber or a professional reviewer, much like I do with everything else that I review on this channel. So what we're going to do is we'll do an unboxing, take a look at what it comes with, other than what you see here, and we'll try a few different games out and accessories, and we'll even compare it to the Hyperkin SupaRetroN HD. So stay tuned. Now, as I mentioned before, just about everybody and their mother has reviewed this thing, but I wanted to, give my spin on it. So we'll do just like a basic unboxing, see what it comes with, the accessories, and which isn't a whole lot, but you'll see exactly what I mean. So I'll go ahead and lift the top cover off. And of course, you've got the console itself. And I will not be doing a disassembly of this only because there's plenty already out there. It comes with a little quick start guide, which gives a basic overview of the ports and connections. Also mentions that it comes with a copy of SupaRetroN built in, and I believe SupaRetroN 2, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall. I have to fire it up and see. And it comes with this little repro box that originally came in this envelope here. I already opened it up and put the box together. It's probably the only, well, it's one of the only few boxed games that I've got. And there's also a little welcome here that explains, what Analogue is, what the Super NT is, and all of that. And then the next thing in here is just this little basic accessory package that comes with an HDMI cable, which I probably got a ton of them, a USB Type A plug, and a USB A to micro B power cable, because it only needs 5 volts for it to run. And that's it. No controllers or anything else like that. Now, when it originally came out, let's say what, 2017, 2018, something like that, you had the option of purchasing an 8BitDo SN30 in different colors. Black for the black console, they had a clear version, and then they had some modeled over the original Super NES and Super Famicom. Those don't seem to be available anymore, at least not in the 2.4 gigahertz variety. At least I have not been able to find one, barring, eBay, scalpers, high prices, etc. But for now, I'm just going to use a regular Super NES controller. Actually, it would be another controller that I'll be using that I'll probably review in the future. You might see it here too. So I'm going to go ahead and get this connected up to a screen. I'll do some capture, turn it on, and test some stuff out. So if you turn on the Super NT without any game installed, well, even with what game installed, I guess by default, what you will get though is this nice little startup screen that comes up with this little corrupted like Analogue logo until it, comes into view. And then you get this menu here, run cartridge. You can also boot directly into Turrican or SupaRetroN 2. You also have settings and tools. Let's go ahead and go into settings real quick. I'm not going to go over all of them just because, again, so many people have already done this before. And looks like you use Y to actually select menu items, which is kind of odd considering I'm used to doing like A or B, but hey, that's all right. So I'm going to video first, go to resolution, and looks like 1080p is selected already. I think I selected it before because I wanted to test this real quick when I first got it, before I made a video, because, if it didn't work, I'd have to send it back or whatever. But you do have 480p 60, 720p 60, 1080p 60, 576p 50 for PAL, 720p 50, and 1080p 50. You don't want to change the resolution during gameplay. As you can see, you've got a little warning and stuff, so we'll go ahead and just leave it at 1080p for now. Let me back out. Go to screen size next. You can do a 1:1, 8:7. You got a 4:3 for 16:9, most HD TVs. 4:3 for 16:10, which is going to be most computer monitors. And then you've got your different scalings, 4, 4.5, and 5x. I believe if you use 5x, it'll cut off the top and the bottom a little bit, but most games don't have any information there. Though you may have certain games like RPGs that may have the status bar, so you may need to experiment a little. I believe 4.5, though, will give you a good enough resolution increase from the original scaling. That's what I'm trying to find. 4.5x scaling should be good for most scenarios, and I believe if you choose that option, you won't get any interpolation, although we'll have to test that out as well. So I'm going to scalers. You got no scaling, HQ2X, 3X, 4X. We've got scanline options, which, you know, no scanlines, normal, hybrid. And you can choose your scanline depth, brightness, etc. I think I'm going to do like a hybrid. I do like scanlines. Not everyone does, though. Back out, and then we've got advanced mode, which, let's see what this does. Okay, so we get some cropping options, width and height options, extra features, buffering mode, color options. So let's take a look at the width and height real quick. Okay, so you can adjust the screen, stretch it, shrink it, etc. If you've ever messed around with controls on a computer monitor, you probably know what those are. We'll look at cropping. I'm guessing that depending on your scaling mode, you can help use this to adjust a picture. We've already went through here and here. Let's look at the extra features. 64 sprite tiles, mode 5 and 6 interlace disabled, pseudo high-res blending, which is already enabled. So 64 sprite tiles, more sprites can be shown at one time. I'm guessing the FPGA will overclock the Super NES CPU that it is effectively replicating. You've got mode 5 and 6 interlace disabled. Disables interlace except for high-res modes. Not really sure what they mean by that. This was already on for pseudo high-res blending, so we'll just leave that. Buffer mode. Fully buffered, zero delay, single buffer. So fully buffered, original speed, no tearing, but more lag. System speed is adjusted to provide zero lag output, and a single buffer, some tearing, but lower lag and original speed. We'll leave it where they've got it. Next, we've got color. We probably don't want to really mess with these too much unless you have a special setup where you need to adjust RGB values, or you've got some special equipment that might need to limit RGB range, but I'm just going to leave the defaults on my setup. DAC RGB mode. I don't believe I need to do anything with this either because it's already set for everything that needs to be done. So that's it. So let's go back. We'll go into audio settings next. -3 decibel output cut. Cartridge audio enabled. Swap left and right. So cartridge audio enabled, you have to have it turned on if you want to use the Super Game Boy. Otherwise, it will ignore any additional audio that the cartridge outputs, and it only do the standard SPC 700 audio. So I don't think anything besides the Super Game Boy actually utilized that. I may be wrong, but I do have a Super Game Boy, so we are going to enable that option. I don't need to swap left and right. Cartridge audio volume, that's going to be, again, for the Super Game Boy. We'll leave that as is for now. And I don't think I need to worry about that either. So let's back out. Let's go into System, Menu Options. So you can change the skin, highlight color, style, font, menu bounce, not sure what that is. Dim game and menu, that's probably a good idea. Let's see what skins they've got. Classic or Super Famicom? Okay, so it just basically does the Super Famicom button color scheme. Yeah, that works, whatever. We got controls and hotkeys. Menu hotkey. So looks like down and select. So if you want to bring up the menu in mid-game, that's good to know. And I don't think I need to worry about the rest of these here. Startup options. Boot sequence delay. So you can have it boot straight to a cartridge if you want, from the title straight to the cartridge, or you can bypass the boot screen and go straight to a game if you want, you know, for more traditional Super NES or Super Famicom style gameplay, you know, where you put a card in, turn it on, and it's ready to go. We'll leave it as this for now, because I don't need to do anything there. I don't know if this is actually important to set your region, but you may need to for certain games. I'm here in North America, so I'm keeping NTSC. Launch system timing. Okay, so let's say adjust cartridge timing to simulate early systems for Game Genie and Super Power Pack. We might mess with the Game Genie, but I won't adjust that for now. I don't have an NTT data gamepad, SD card speed. So the Super NT, let me switch here, does have an SD card slot that can be used to update the firmware. Oh, and I just noticed the LED also does the Super Famicom colors. That's kind of neat. But it does have an SD slot for installing firmware, as well as if you decide to jailbreak it to be able to run additional software and things like that. I'm not going to do that in this video, although I may do it for my own personal taste, and maybe I'll do a separate video for that, I'm not sure. For now, I'm going to leave it as stock. And then you've got debug options, which I'm not going to go into because I'm not a developer and I don't want to mess with anything there. LED options. We just talked about the LED. So we can do, if I do LED Classic, it looks like it does white and purple because it doesn't really do gray. You can do the Super Famicom style. Not sure what center pixel is. I'm guessing whatever's in the middle of the screen, whatever color pixel that is. K-Pro Rainbow, so that just cycles through different colors. Load custom pattern, I don't have one, so we're just going to leave it. Standby color is just looks like white. So we'll do Super Famicom, just because, why not? And that's it for system. We've got the About menu, which, you know, credits and firmware versions and things like that. So firmware on here is from 2019, which is odd. Kind of strange that that's an older firmware, but, you know, that's fine, as long as it works. And here, obviously, we can save the settings, which I will save what I've got. Yes. And it saves it to an internal flash. And let's just make sure that it actually did save the settings. Cartridge audio, perfect. So those are the basic options there. Again, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of videos and websites with guides on how to customize everything, and I believe you can actually download from websites and upload to the console different configurations if you want to do that. So that's going to be up to you. Personally, I'm just going to leave everything as is for now, and I'll be tweaking as I play to get, you know, the best options I can get out of it. So let's go ahead, and I'm not going to do Super Turrican or Turrican 2 because I'm not very familiar with those games. I've really never played them before, and I don't want to embarrass myself too much on camera. Plus, I want to really get to testing actual game cartridges, so that's what we're going to do next. Okay, and as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and test some games out and some accessories. I've got the Super Game Boy here, which when I tested it out on the SupaRetroN HD, I could not get Game Boy audio, although Super Game Boy audio did work. We'll also try Super Mario All-Stars and World. We'll try the Game Genie, try this multi-cart, and we'll try a Japanese cart as well. So let's go ahead, and I will try to do I'm going to do a direct capture of everything, so I'll just overlay it on the screen now while I'm talking. And let's go with Super Mario All-Stars. I'm hoping I've got everything set in my capture to be as clear as possible, so definitely clear on screen. Let's pause it for a second. Oh, guess not. So we'll just watch here. If you look around you know, the Mario, let's say Mario, the clouds. Definitely nice, almost crystal clear pixels are definitely visible, at least on screen for me. Like I said, I'm hoping the capture does show this as well. But yeah, I'm definitely impressed with the visual quality, that's for sure. This game seems to be working just fine, so let's try another game. This time we'll use the Super Game Boy. And I believe that option is under Settings, Audio, and Cartridge Audio Enable. And audio is working. Although it does seem a slightly higher pitch than normal. I'm not sure if that's normal or not, or maybe just my ears are off. Palettes are easily changeable, as are the different borders. You can create your own borders, obviously. But yeah, so Super Game Boy definitely works. Let's try Final Fantasy V. I don't expect this to have any issues, but let's see. And this seems to work just fine as well. So everything is working with this. Let's go ahead and try the multi-cart next. I have no reason to suspect it won't work, but who knows. Yeah, it seems to work. At least the menu comes up. And again, it seems to work just fine. No issues. And finally, let's test out the Game Genie. All right, let's do All Stars in the World again. And it seems to start up just fine. Question is do I have any codes available? All right, let's try this here. Start file A game with 50 lives. I'm not sure if these codes will work in this specific game because this also includes Mario World, but let's find out. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't recognize the save file that's on there. Oh, but 50 lives are there, so looks like it's working. So everything I've thrown at it so far seems to work just fine. Repro cart, multi-cart, the Super Game Boy, Game Genie, Super Mario All-Stars in the World, and a Japanese game. So looks like the capture is working as well too. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to record some footage of Super Mario All-Stars, just, you know, even just maybe just a still screenshot like this, and then I will compare it with the SupaRetroN HD, compare visual quality, and see which one, you know, which one looks better, although I'm pretty sure everyone knows what that's going to be. So So there's the comparison between the two. I'm pretty sure you all could figure out which one is going to do better. Although again, the Hyperkin system isn't terrible. It's just definitely not as good as the Super NT can do. And that's mainly because of the fact that it's using a very poor HDMI upscaler, in a lot of people's opinion, compared to what this can do. If they were just improve that, pretty sure that it would look close, if not exact, as this would. There's no reason it shouldn't be able to. But again, this is a $75 console. This is a $190 console, so you know you can't really complain too much. You know, the compatibility on this will be better than this as well, especially when it comes to Super Game Boy, since again it does not seem to be able to route Game Boy audio, and I'm not sure if that's because it's using clones of the original SNES chips and they're just poor clones, or if there's some other issue that's, you know, keeping it from working. But hey, that's my take on the Super NT in general. I'm impressed with it. I like all the features and capabilities, and I know I didn't go over everything. A bunch of other YouTubers have probably already done that, so I just wanted to give my personal take on it, my, you know, 2 cents from a unprofessional YouTuber who, you know, just reviews things at random and stuff like that. So, but I'm definitely going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this. I am going to jailbreak it. I'm not sure if I will record the video or not. Maybe I will and just post it someday. I'm not sure, but I do want to jailbreak it to get some of the extra functionality out of the jailbreak. I think one of the things you can do is load up NES ROMs and Genesis ROMs and play them on there, and effectively turning this into an Analogue NT, NT Mini, or even the Mega SG. We won't be able to obviously play the cartridges due to the SNES cartridge slot not being compatible with Genesis or NES cartridges, though I'm pretty sure an adapter could probably be made, but loading them off the ROMs are fine anyway. So yeah, that's my take on it. What did you guys think? Leave some comments below. If you have one of these, or if you're trying to get one of these, because these are hard to come by, especially now with chip shortages and everything. But yeah, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't yet, although as usual there's never any obligation to do so. If you didn't like the video, hit the thumbs down, but please let me know why in the comments below so I can try to use that to help me going forward. Otherwise, thanks all, and I'll catch you later.